Okay, so I am going to demonstrate the homework, which is filling out the analysis table for topic A. However, I'm going to be using a different poem. I'm going to be using Ozymandias by Percy Shelley, husband of the very famous Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein. So this poem, to cut everything real short, is literally about a narrator who meets a traveler who is telling him about something that the traveler saw, which was a half-buried statue of just legs, and then there was a part of a face. The face is this one, a shattered visage, lies whose frown and wrinkled lips. So then on the pedestal, there's also a pedestal, and they have the words written on them. The words that were written were, "My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair." So then this is what it says on the pedestal. So then what we're picturing is like I don't know, I really shouldn't draw. These are like legs, and then like half of a face. Ooh, Miss Lee's drawing things buried in the sand. And at the foot of the statue, this is where it reads, "Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair." So, but nothing besides that remains. No city, no nothing. So then around that, it's just empty desert. So this is a story about a narrator who meets a traveler who has found this statue in the middle of the desert of a person named Ozymandias, who says he's the King of Kings. And it says, "Look on my works," which is like the stuff I've done, ye mighty, like people who are mighty, and despair. Despair means lose hope. And, okay, so then that's the literal. Figuratively, that's what we are analyzing. So then I'm trying to find the figurative meaning. So then our topic is connected to symbols. So then for the homework, I would be looking for anything in here that works as a symbol. So let's see. Tell that to its half sunk of shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command. Tell that its sculptor while those passions read. So then sculptor is the maker of the statue, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear, "My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains, round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away." So then the sculpture would be the biggest symbol. So then I would write maybe what line am I going to focus on for my analysis. So then I would say, "Nothing beside remains, round the decay of that colossal wreck." The wreck they are referring to is, of course, the statue is wrecked. So then if I were to write this, I'd write, there's only one stanza because this is a sonnet, which is a 14-line poem, so I'd have to go by line. So then maybe I would also like this line. "A shattered visage lies, frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command." So I'm going to observe that this is the face of a probably cruel leader. He's not a nice person. Also, we know that he's not nice because he tells you to look at all of the stuff he's done and despair, which is not a positive trait in a leader. You'd really not want that leader to be your leader. So he thought he was all powerful, this Ozymandias. And over time, not only did his works disappear, but he is just like a broken part of a statue left in the desert. So then symbols, the statue would be a symbol to represent maybe the broken legacy or the disappearing from memory. So then he thought he was like the king of kings, but he's just like a broken old desert statue, and nobody knows who Ozymandias is. We also don't know who Ozymandias is. I'm thinking it's a made-up person. I've never heard of Ozymandias except for in this poem. So I'm going to say the line I'm going to focus on is maybe 4, shattered visage, 13, 12. Line 12 and line 4. So then, oh, I should reverse that. So I'm going to go, okay, I'm looking at line 4 and 12. And the part I'm talking about is half sunk, a shattered visage, visage meaning a face. And then the second part is nothing beside remains, round the decay of that colossal wreck. Nothing beside remains. You guys can type this in. Something, something, something. Colossal wreck. Capital W. Okay. So my analysis would be this is a symbol. The statue represents maybe hubris, which is Miss Lee's favorite word of the summer. This means like pride or arrogance. So when you are so sure of yourself that it actually leads to your downfall. This person, Ozymandias, is a leader who eventually is forgotten. But obviously by this statue, this statue has a little bit of irony in it. He literally calls himself King of Kings. And look upon my works in despair, except there are no works left. There's nothing left. So maybe what it represents, we're talking about this, is supposed to be an emotional impact. In that we, as the readers, recognize that this was a person of power and they were very arrogant, but we're not really supposed to feel bad for Ozymandias. I think we're mostly supposed to find it like ridiculous. Or maybe if you're an empathetic person, you find it like tragic. I don't really personally find this a tragic poem though, but kind of ridiculous because the words, my name is Ozymandias, King of Kings, look on my works, ye mighty in despair, and then there's just nothing but sand. For me, that's the irony. Maybe the theme we're talking about is nature versus man. That no matter what man creates, nature always wins. The desert rules all. There's nothing that we can make as people that won't eventually disappear over time. And that's kind of like an existential crisis kind of thing. So then why do we exist if nothing that we have will ever be remembered? Okay, so then that would be my analysis for a symbol in Ozymandias. You will be doing the same thing, except your poems are going to be Still I Rise and Digging. So you're going to pick a symbol from each one. If you have time in your 2 to 3 hours, do a second one. So I left 2 boxes. So you can do 2 from Digging, and then you can do 2 from your other works. And that will set you up very nicely for if you are working on topic A, because you will have to find multiple symbols. Okay, we are done for today. Thank you.